Hello, everyone. We're thrilled to welcome Niki Gao, business developer, director, and head of NFT at Bitmart Exchange, to our discussion today. Niki, thank you so much for joining us. How are you today?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Good morning,
Nice,
everyone.
nice. Thank you. So my first question is, can you provide an overview of your role as the head of NFT and your responsibilities?
Of course. So, like Bitmart in general, we are a crypto exchange. So we have different like business lines. So NFT is just one of the business lines we have. So we actually opened the NFT marketplace like last year in June. So we are smoothly running it for almost like a year now. And then I guess the main business goal of exchange to have the NFT is more like diversify our assets as well as our platform user can have different selective assets to choose. So at the moment, my role as the head of NFT is essentially like in charge of all like the responsibility for what kind of assets, NFT collections that we have to choose to bringing them to the exchange, as well as what kind of activities like campaigns on the operational side, like how can we increase engagement of the NFT as well as the user. So like get more exposure to help those collection or artists or NFT projects to get them present them to our users. And then essentially, I think right now our there's limited function at the moment, so we are not like directly competing with OpenSea, but more like to engage user for the NFT, like educate them the NFT side as well as diversify the assets. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And how do you curate and select the NFTs to be listed on the exchange platform?
Mm-hmm. So I think there's diversified ways. So initially, when we opened the NFT marketplace, it's more like because we have so many tokens listed on the spot trading market, right? So there's metaverse project, there's GameFi project, and there's some other, even DeFi project, they have an NFT. And then many of them, they actually ask exchange to support their NFT side. So that's we already get a lot of requests from these projects. So that's why we started there. So that's why at the very beginning, so we only support the NFT collection that they already listed like a token on the spot trading market. So we kind of already have some deal flow, like automatic deal flow from these ones. But gradually, when our NFT marketplace go larger, we have some other PFP project reaching out to us with some small minor artists. They need the support, and they are more like Web2 people, but they don't know how to get into the Web3. So we're helping them to even mint the NFT or telling them how you can actually start the NFT projects. Right. So there's some criteria that we are looking at. So obviously we are not OpenSea, right? OpenSea is just like any kind of project can be listed, can be minted their NFT on OpenSea, but we are more like centralized away, which means we need to still look at like those KYCs if this project is legally compliant. For example, if they're just we verify if the copyrights is belong to them. If not, then we won't be able to help them to list. So like legal is very important for us. And then second level is more like if the project has a solid team. Well, there's different ways. So for like a more general, like a team wise, the project, they have an NFT, right? So we look at the NFT, we look at the team, we look at the product they're building on. But for more like artist type, they are just like individual minority artists. They want to help their artwork to be tokenized, or like they want artists to be digitalized. Then in that way, we look at their artwork and art pieces. So like it's more like depend on person in terms of the artist. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And the other very
yes.
important, the other, so one more thing, the other very important criteria is like the NFT supply, or if this NFT makes sense. So some project, they don't have too much utility, but the price, the NFT very high. But we know it does exist, like some of the project, it's just selling NFT for the sake of money, but we don't want that happen. And, like, because from the user standpoint, it's ridiculous. And, like they don't understand, like, why would you have such high price without the, value added? Then we probably won't work with this kind of project or our teams.
Okay, and can you share an example of a successful NFT listing or campaign and the impact it had on the project?
Yeah, I guess one of the very successful NFT project we worked in the past is like the collection name is diversifies. So it's actually launched by one of the Taiwanese celebrity, Yi Nenjing, N-E-E. So essentially what we did is they have a limited supply. So Bitmart is only helping them, but when they launched the like initial NFT offering, we help them to sell partial of the NFT, and then the NFT are actually sold out immediately after like 30 minutes of the listing. And then I guess the reason why this project is very successful is we did quite a lot of marketing to get help them get exposure to our users. So like we have all the marketing tools and media resources that we can help them. And then the second reason is they have a very solid team back then, and then they are well known in the space as well. Yeah.
And you also mentioned that you are in the side of token listing, right?
Yes.
So I have also a couple of questions about that. And what benefits do you believe token projects gain from being listed on the exchange?
Well, I guess there's different approach. So like the reason can be, very diversified, right? So I think majority of the project are looking to exchange is because, they have different selection of the centralized exchange. They have, they can also go to the DEX. But one reason of the DEX is that it's easier to list on DEX, but in terms of the KYC, AMLs, those DEX is lacking, right? So centralized exchange at this point, I think many of the community users, they believe is if this token is listed on a centralized exchange, at least the project is passing the KYC or pass the exchange legal, review or due diligence from our side. So it's more like, I would say it's more trustworthy if they get listed on the centralized exchange, not just on the DEX. And then the second thing that we can help them is that obviously centralized exchange has a lot of user base. So like different exchange has different user base. For example, Binance is global, but I would say they have a lot more Asian users trading on the platform. So some other exchange have different users geography. So I think it really depends on which market that project want to target on, right? So let's say for us, we have many North and South American users as well as the European user. So listed with Bitmart will help them get more exposure, or have these kind of regions type of user will get access to this token. So that's the second point. The third point is definitely the marketing. So like on the DEX, you can barely get any marketing because it's like DEX, they probably won't be able to help you too much on the marketing, but we do. It's not just like for the platform marketing, but we also have many resources for like third-party marketing. Like we work with a lot of KOLs, media partners, PR agencies. So like we will help to connect the project with those, marketing agencies. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's also, you answered my questions. That's really good. Yeah, how do you engage with token projects and their teams to foster longer term partnerships?
So yeah, I think it really depends on the project nature. So different project, they require different things. So like we always not just like to helping the project for listing, right? Essentially, we want to work with the project in the long term. So for example, very simple answer, like a layer 1 project. So we helping them list the mainnet token. And then we don't stop there. We also wanted to help the team for the ecosystem project, right? So like, let's see, our name Solana, right? So like Solana, we listed Solana SOL token, but we don't just stop there. We also work with like Solana ecosystem project. And then sometimes we also have like grant. We have a VC arm that helps those ecosystem project to grow, and then we have the accelerator program as well to get involved into the early stage ecosystem project to give them advice, give them some sort of marketing resources as well. So yeah, we always look for long term. So L1 project is just one example. Some other example can be I have a lot of clients reach out to me, say, oh, we definitely want to list it on Bitmart, but we also value the Bitmart ecosystem partners. So like whether you can connect me with this partner or that partner, because we want to work with them on XYZ. And then we always are willing to help them connected with some other projects, right? Yeah. So and so like it really based on like what the project is looking for, and then we help them. Also, same as the marketing. So we don't just do the marketing when the token's listed. So we host a lot of Twitter Space AMA. So like any kind of project, they let's see. Right now we have 3 AMA lined up in the pipeline this month and next month. So essentially, because right now I guess Ordino's BTC ecosystem is very hot, right? So we hosted a couple of the BTC ecosystem AMAs. So that's how we work with the project in long term.
Okay. So my next question is, what is your long-term vision for exchanges involvement in the NFT space?
I guess so most of the other exchange what I'm looking at, they are all trying to build their ecosystem. I would say, for example, Coinbase, they initially launched NFT, and then now they have base blockchain, and then they have wallet. So they're trying to have all these like advanced technology in the Web3 space to build their own ecosystem, right? So I think for us, we are trying to do also like build up our Bitmart ecosystem. So right now we don't have our blockchain yet. So like we sort of only focus on like spot trading, futures, NFT, lending and staking, leverage trading, something like that, right? So I think NFT in the long term, so in the short term, it's more like helping the listed project to helping them on the NFT side diversify our assets. But in the long term, I think we are kind of waiting for the next bull run for the NFT, right? Because NFT 2 years ago is super hot and it's a new idea. But and then now it's in the bear market, we kind of like trying to find the next thing for NFT. And then we are like, we need to be technologically, and then on the product level, we need to be ready for the next bull run. So essentially, in the long run, I would say it's to diversify our assets to add value to our ecosystem, because we also want to help like the Web2 people jumping to Web3. So NFT is always like easier than some of the other complicated blockchain application, like infrastructure. So NFT, so like because typically all type of project can get into the NFT space, like artists and then singers, like some like clothing brand, like all these sort of different, Web2 people, Web2 business can get into the Web3 space by using the NFT technology, right? So I guess it's more like we consider it as a gateway to step into the Web3 space. Yeah.
Okay, and my last question, it's about listing, and it's also the same. What is your long-term vision for the token listing process?
So I would say on the token side, I've been through like two cycles in this space. So each cycle there's different type of token people are discussing. So like this round, AI is very hot, and recently meme project it's very hot, and then we always saw these different varieties type of tokens, and then there's always new token coming in. There's always some project died because 95% startup fell. So at exchange here, the role is essentially to help those tokens get access to the exchange, to our users. So long-term role as exchange, as I said, same as NFT, we are the gateway to Web3. So because it's not just like tokens that we listed. So like token like exchange as a whole, because we listed like more than 800 type of assets. We have so many different type of assets on the exchange. So like regular user, they don't know too much about the crypto. If they go to our exchange, they kind of have the big picture of like what's available, right? So yeah, I would say to the point, we are the gateway to Web3. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Niki. It was a pleasure to talk to you today. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Have a good one. Bye.